Alright folks, as most of you know, my truck is covered in scratches and, dings. So, I'm going to try something a little here. Got these little paint markers. You got my filler and primer for those deeper ones, and then closest one I could find to my truck is a Honda Silver. They didn't have a Ford Silver, they had a Ford Dark Shadow Gray and Ford Oxford White, but I think that's pretty much close enough. But I'm going to try it first on this scratch here. See, it's really deep, really noticeable. So I'm going to do a little bit of sanding and put some primer on it first, because it is pretty deep, and then hit it up with this. And we'll see how that turns out, and if it works out, then, I've just got dings, like right here, and some more on the other side. So we'll see how this one turns out. Well, I got done finishing around, here's the original one I was working on. It really didn't make a difference. That silver is too bright, so, it took the scratches and made them a little bit brighter. That's pretty much all it did. The best area seems to be right on the door, because it's right on the corner, so you can barely see it anyway. But really, I think I put some up here on the hood a little bit too. Yeah, really there's just no way getting around the fact that this minor scratching around my truck is going to cost a few $1,000 at the body shop. Because these paint markers suck at these little tiny scratches. They can't fill them in with their shit. I tried on this big one and I kept messing up and kept rubbing it back off and kept trying it, and it just never worked. You see a big difference in the pattern. Yeah, just too bright. But at least I got these holes covered up because they were starting to rust. Got them sanded out, and so I put a bunch of primer in there and pretty much did the best I could with it for what I had. Same up here. All this was bed liner, if you remember that one video, because all the paint peeled away. So I sanded it and put some bed liner in there to protect it, and then just threw this stuff over it to kind of blend it, I guess. So, what can you do? So, I guess it was worth a shot. I'll keep these around, they might come in use, especially the primer. The primer was really the only useful one. This would have probably been a lot better if the paint was actually exact match, because of the way this went on, it looked exactly like my paint, and as it dried, it just got a little bit too bright. So it was definitely close. This was a Honda Silver. So, as you can see, very close. I think what I could do with this, though, is go under the hood and paint that one piece under my hood. I think that's what I could do with it. It's really only use I see for it at this point. Probably better off on that. Well, that's actually a darker silver, I think. Slightly darker. Oh yeah, one hand. My plenum. I think that's really the only place. Well, I could probably slap it here and there in other places. But for the most part, it's just too bright. It's just a little too bright, but it's close. It is a pretty big piece. I'll probably just buy some silver paint, or blue paint, or red paint. I'm not sure when I'm going to paint it yet. I'll probably just end up painting it sometime though. Oh well. I think I'll maybe paint my grill too and bumper to match truck, but I don't know. Be nice to find an STX grill because those look the nicest. Find one in silver, slap that on in a hurry because they look really good. Yeah. Oh well. You still don't really see anything from a distance except the one in the back corner there and the others on the other side. These ones you do notice for a while. I think it might have helped a little bit at least. A little bit less noticeable. Oh yes, I forgot my spot down here. This is a good time to show you basically what this shit is. Come on, stand. Alright, just hold on a second. We're gonna try and get it to stand up. Came close, but no gear. So you got two ends on here. You got this little ballpoint end here. It's basically for these little. Just kind of dab it in there. Well, I already shook this too, so it's another thing you want to do is shake it, but mine's already been shaken. Need a dab. Come on out. Sometimes it takes a little bit. There's some came out. It's hard to show you on the camera and do this at the same time, so I'll do it on this big spot. We see how it comes out. God damn. See how this stuff comes out. You also got a little brush too, which might be a little bit easier actually. I'm gonna get the brush out. The brush is exactly what it sounds, just brush it. Can't get any simpler than that. I think that's the best way to go with this, just to brush it on. Because then you can get it on there just the way you want it, instead of dabbing all the time. Because the dabbing shit doesn't work. As you can see, it's pretty darn close as it's setting in. It just really brightens up when you have it dry out. So it's really damn close. I honestly should have waited till I found the exact color match, but then again, I'm not super concerned about it because I knew this shit wouldn't work really. Because even if it was color match, you could still tell that there was a problem. This is really just to get it covered up so it doesn't rust any further. What I'll probably do is just buy a new tailgate or truck bed, because it'll probably be cheaper than going to the body shop, and that's the sad truth of it. But for the meantime, that'll do. Yeah. It's already starting to get too bright on it, but that's about as best it'll get. It will. Scratched. So that's the dupli-color scratch fix stuff. Definitely work a lot better if you got the right color, but seems to work better for those giant scratches, because like I said, these small little scratches, just forget about it. You'll just be fucking yourself over trying to fix those with this stuff. It just you just won't do it. It's just too much. It's just too wide. But anyway, there you got it. I think this video is way too long as it is. So